Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever NYUP music podcast. Today, we're going to be reviewing DMA'S The Glow,
which is out Friday the 10th of July, which is like their fourth take of this now. But
I just thought you were going to do it.
It doesn't matter. The album was produced by Stuart Price, who's worked with the Killers, Example, and the Pet Shop Boys. Just a bit of useless information for you there. So should we start with the singles then, you reckon?
Yeah.
Right, so the first single was Silver. That was out like nearly a year ago now. Classic DMA song, probably one of their best. What do you think of it? Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I love the riff to it. Like, it was like, it's not as rocky as I'd normally like, rock and roll as I'd normally go for, but it did kind of click with me when I heard it first. Like, that wouldn't be really common enough for DMA songs to me. Like, normally it takes away from me.
Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, the song was I felt it was a bit different when it first came out to their previous stuff, but it grew on me a lot over time. I wasn't very impressed when it first came out, but it's definitely one of their strongest songs now, and it's really grew on me. And their live performances have been brilliant for it as well.
Yeah, Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree with Jordan. It's more of a grower, not a shower. But I think it was a strong one to start off their campaign of singles, really. So I thought maybe I was kind of the same. It wasn't very DMA-like, but then when Life is a Game of Changing came out, you kind of saw that Silver was a bit more their type, because that one was just out there. Really.
Yeah, it's a good segue. It was a big change to like the rest of their songs, obviously, a lot more like dancey, and that's kind of a theme of this album, really. It's a lot more like dance influenced and upbeat stuff rather than like proper rock and roll. So yeah, it was Life a Game of Change, and obviously very upbeat, dancey track. And The Glow was along similar lines, I would say, kind of halfway between maybe. And then, The Learning Alive was the most recent one, which I think again kind of divided opinions with people. I thought it was okay. I think, Jordan, you said it's probably one of your least favorite songs, wasn't it?
Yeah, I find it, I don't know, I feel it's not weak, but it's one of my least favorite songs. And like, if I was to rank all the songs in order, my favorite would be my least favorite. But I know other people would have it as one of their favorite. It's just a personal choice, really.
It's personal preference.
I do have to say, I did like the song now. It was a lot slower compared to other stuff, but the chorus kind of would grip you, and you'd know it was a DMA song when you listen to the vocals, like, very distinguishable vocals there. So I thought maybe he got a bit of
I'd agree.
Fairness, so.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well, because I know, in fairness, like I at the start I thought it was like, to me it kind of felt like it was building to something that never got there, but kind of again, more I listened to it, the more I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think again, it's a decent song, but I'd much rather the upbeat stuff. So we'll skip past the singles. No one really wants to talk about the singles, do they? Like, everyone's heard them a million times.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to the first track, which was Never Before. Kind of starts off again very techno-y kind of electronic vibes to it. Really sets the tone for the album. I think it's probably my second favorite song on the album, at least. What do you think, Jordan? What do you think of it?
Yeah, I really liked how it opened. It's a great opening track, and honestly, I thought it had like a massive Stone Roses kind of sound to it. It's just a really good opening track, and Stone Roses, like, if you liked Stone Roses, you definitely like this. But it's also got like DMA's Stone Roses. It's a good track, an opening track.
Yeah, I thought it was the perfect opener for the album, to be fair. Like, they made a good choice on that. And there's parts of it, I think, like, it sounds kind of like Liam Gallagher kind of Oasis kind of vibes at times with the vocals, which is also good. Danny, what do you think of it?
I thought it was a great opening track as well. It kind of sets the mood, and you can definitely hear where their inspiration comes from. And the lead singer, his father, I believe, is from Liverpool, so he kind of grew up on the Britpop movement and listening to all that stuff, and it really comes to show in that one track more than most. Like, so I thought it was very good.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of my favorite tracks as well. I think it's either that one or Hello Girlfriend. They're two of my favorite tracks. I did think the same. It was a little bit. I think it was fairly reminiscent of like early Oasis, I thought, and like as you said, Conor, and it was kind of nearly a hybrid between Liam and Noel Gallagher. like in their solo careers.
Yeah, there's definitely influences there, I'd imagine. So then, Danny, you kind of had an opinion on this. The 3 singles together, you didn't really like that, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I think because you've been listening to them all, and they released the singles together on Spotify under the track "The Glow," like it kind of gave away almost a third of the album, because the way I like to listen to albums is through how they are put forward, like from number 1 to number 11. I don't like skipping through songs I listen to, because I think they're put in that position for a reason. So I think they could have maybe changed Learning Alive for Hello Girlfriend or something like that, and maybe not release track numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 all together, because that's a good portion of the album you've already listened to. And it kind of might, people will skip over that now because they've listened to those. You said Silver has been out almost a year now, like, so maybe people aren't getting the actual full album and appreciating how it's laid out in that way. So I think that might have been a bit of an oversight, but it's not. It doesn't ruin the album in any way or form, like.
Yeah, I suppose there's 2 ways looking at it, really. Like you said, people who are sick of those songs might be like, they might skip ahead just because they've heard them so many times. But then again, you can look at it as in, once you get past that block, there's a nice big block of new songs.
Yeah, that's how I
look at it
anyway.
But yeah, I would agree. It is a bit annoying that they're all together.
Yeah, but, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change your opinion of the album or anything like that, though.
No, absolutely not. So the next song then was "Criminals," which is it's probably the most mainstream sounding song. I think that's fair to say. Very kind of upbeat pop, nearly kind of like EDM music, nearly like kind of house music almost. You'd hear it on the radio, that kind of music. Probably one of the weaker songs on the album, but again, still a very good song. It's still a solid, probably 7 or 8 out of 10. Jack, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I kind of thought the same. It is definitely one of the weaker ones, but I found that it kind of showcased Tommy's vocals a lot more than some of the other songs. To me, I don't know how I got this, but I kind of thought it sounded a bit like Noel's Oasis songs when he sang at points. Like, now, I'd go to dance kind of nearly at certain points in it, like, but in kind of the solo parts nearly, if you get me.
Yeah, I get you. Jordan, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I found like the sound changes on that track went from the previous tracks. It's kind of different than their usual sound as well, but it's not a dance tune really. Like, it's not like Life is a Game of Changing or anything. But I don't know. I didn't really, wasn't a favorite of mine or anything. But some people will love it, and some people will just, it's there, it's all right. But it wasn't a favorite or anything.
Danny?
I thought it was maybe the most mainstream sounding track on the album. I think of all the 11, it'll be the one you would hear on the radio maybe, or you wouldn't be surprised to hear on the radio. But it kind of sounded, it was fairly ballady at times, like it was kind of a ballad type as well, and it does kick up a notch as it goes through and all. But I don't think it was too bad, but it wouldn't be one that you might remember after your first listening. You'd go back and you'd maybe listen to it again on its own, or maybe your third time of listening to the album in full, you might appreciate it a bit more. But first impressions, now, it wasn't the strongest one, but it will be one that will get radio plays, I think.
Yeah,
I was almost the opposite of that. You were saying like the more you listen to it, the more it might grow on you. I think I preferred it the first time, and the more I listened to it, the more I didn't like it as much. But yes, move on then. Strangers was next song. I can't even fucking remember what this song was like, to be honest. I remember it was good. One of you wants to describe what it's like. It's just upbeat kind of electronic music, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Strangers.
Yeah.
Go ahead there.
This is what happens when you don't tell who to talk.
This is
I think it's one that I could see Liam Gallagher covering. Like, I know I've mentioned Liam and Noel a good bit already so far, but like I think this album, you can show where the what they were listening to nearly when
you can definitely see the inspiration throughout the album.
Yeah, like the lyrics song, they're fairly evocative. Like they portray a lot of like there's an awful lot of imagery used in it. And like I really like that one. It is one of my favorites on the album.
Danny, what do you make of
it? Where are we? Oh, Strange, sorry. Well, I thought it was a very slow. I zoned out for a second there. I was looking at my notes, I lost my place. I thought it was a very slow build to it, but I think it kind of got there at the end and all. But again, not very memorable. As you said, you don't really remember what it was like either. But
I remember loving it, but I can't even sing the song in my head now. I can't remember it now.
I listened to it 2 hours ago, and I can't think of it. But all I wrote down here was slow build. So I guess that's what you can take out of it from me. Critic's opinion.
That's it. Jordan, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I felt like the sound changed again. You went from Life is a Game of Change to Criminals, and it changed. And then you went to Strangers, and it changed again. But I felt like it was a good track. The vocals were very good, and there was a lot of attitude to the track. It was really like Liam Gallagher kind of attitude. If the song was in the middle of Why Me, Why Not with Liam on vocals, it's really like a proper Liam Gallagher kind of tune. There's just pure attitude to it. I thought it was a very good track.
Yeah, it wouldn't be out of place in a Liam Gallagher album, I don't think. What strikes me though with all these songs, all the songs, I think the production value is very good. That they all just sound like big songs. Just sound just good solid songs. Next song then was Hello Girlfriend, which a lot of people would have heard from the Brixton live gig, which is, I'd say, probably top 2 or 3 songs on the album as well. Very good song. I really enjoyed that. It's more like What They're All stuff, more kind of rock and rollish than electronic kind of stuff. But I'd say it's probably a good 8 or 9 out of 10. Donnie, what do you think?
I thought it was definitely their strongest album or strongest track on the album. Sorry, I thought it was definitely a callback to their previous 2 albums, and it kind of showed the writing style they have, the musical style they have, the production they have, everything that makes them the DMA'S. So I thought maybe I'm kind of glad they didn't release it as a single, because once you actually listen to the album, you get this almost a surprise that this track just nestled into the middle of it is that good. So I think very good song, very strong and well produced, well sang, well everything.
Yeah, it's almost like if you release all the good songs straight away, then what do you have to look forward to on the album? You need them hidden gems, really.
They did well not to release it now, because that would be if I was in a band like that and wrote a song like that, I'd want that out straight away. So it was very well thought out that they didn't. Yeah,
I suppose it was a good when they did that at Brixton, it was a good kind of teaser for people to look forward to that. Jack, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I think Danny kind of said everything. It was definitely one of the best songs on the album. It did catch my ear more so a lot. I'd been more inclined to listen to a lot of rock and roll music, and that one definitely was rock and roll, and that'll be one of my playlists. Definitely.
Jordan, what do you make of it?
Yeah, when coming up to this album, I was really hoping for a proper rock and roll song on the album, because I didn't want the whole thing to be dance music and electronic and stuff like that. And when I heard it, I was just so happy. It's the heaviest track on the album, and it's going to be a massive hit at gigs and all. It's just really good. It's my favorite song on the album, 100%.
Yeah, I think it sounds a lot heavier in the studio version to the live version. I think that kind of got lost slightly, but actually in the crowd, it would sound an awful lot better, I'd presume. Yeah. So the album kind of slows down again then with Appointment, kind of really just showcases Tommy's vocal strengths, really just a very kind of slow song. It kind of builds up towards the end, actually. It's kind of like, I like to compare it to So We Know from the first album. It's kind of like that, So We Know of this album, basically. It's kind of a slow one. I really like this song. It's probably, again, one of at least probably top 4 or 5. That's just another solid tune. I guess the kind of the theme of the album, they're all just very, very solid songs.
Yeah.
Jordan, what do you think of that?
Yeah, Appointment is a much slower song. You come from Hello Girlfriend, which is the heaviest track on the album, and then you go to Appointment, which is one of the one of the slowest songs in the album. But it's really just the best song on the album to showcase Tommy's vocals. Really, his vocals are the best on that song, I think.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. It's just really clear and just outstanding as always. Jack, what
I don't know. To me, it was pretty slow. It kind of added on to me, it kind of felt like it was building. It was a little bit of a downer after Hello Girlfriend, in my opinion. When I first started listening to it, I wasn't gone on it. But again, like the same with a lot of songs, the more I listen to it, the more it grew on me. It still wouldn't be one of my favorites, but it is a pretty good song, in fairness.
Again, it's personal preference. You're more into heavy stuff, but other people wouldn't be and would like it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Danny.
Sorry, I was just waiting for your cue there. I'd actually disagree with Jack on that one. I think the positioning of that track is well thought out, because you come from such a heavy song to Hello Girlfriend that you actually need to might have to take a breather, and I think it's good to have a nice slow song after that. So if it's anywhere on the track, it should be below a song or after a song that is as heavy as Hello Girlfriend. So I think it does kind of set the mood for what you're about to go into in the last leg of the album too. Yeah,
I kind of agree with that. It's kind of just a breather between heavy songs. Like next one
it's not fodder in any way though. Like it's not.
No, not at all. I think it does act as a good like complementary to the heavy stuff as well.
Yeah, it does stand out.
Yeah, and just the comparison does the whole album, it really does show off their diversity. Like every tune is completely different. Really, like there's none that sound alike. Which brings us on to Round and Around, which is probably my favourite song of the album, to be fair, other than the singles. I really love this song. It's properly upbeat, properly like electronic music, really just full of energy, just really good song. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the favorite of the whole. I much rather faster paced songs, especially by DMA'S. I think it kind of shows more so like their talent nearly more so than the slower ones. Rock and roll kind of. It's definitely the most rock and roll on the record, I think. Even like now, in my opinion, more so than Hello Girlfriend, but that could be just personal preference again.
Yeah, it's kind of like proper rock and roll with an electronic kind of vibe thrown into it as well, especially on the vocals. There's a lot of like filtering and slight bit of auto-tune in a lot of these songs as well, which complements the songs nicely, to be fair. Danny, what do you think of that?
I thought brilliant song, very loud. I mean, it's what you want to hear in a DMA song.
That's because you had your volume up, I'd say.
Shut up. I do think it would have been an excellent closing track. I'm not gonna talk about the closing track just yet, because I know that's next, and I know we're all going to have a different opinion on that one. But I think Round and Around now is a brilliant song, and I just think, because I'm a stickler for placement when it comes to albums, I just think that should have just been the last one on it, done and dusted.
Yeah, I'd agree. We'll go on to that more in a minute, but yeah, I agree. I think that should have closed it. Either that or Silver. I don't know.
Yeah.
You either need a really big banger or else it's like something slow or kind of more melodic. And Jordan, what do you think of them?
Yeah, I agree with you about that maybe being the last track. But Round and Around overall, it's a good song. It'll be really good at gigs. And I felt like Round and Around, it's kind of mostly it's the best song it's kind of like something from their last couple albums. It's I'm trying to think of a way to describe it, but it's mostly similar to their last two albums. I feel like if the song was on Hill's End or the other on For Now, like it wouldn't surprise me. It's sounds more like DMA'S. It's more like their style, not a dance. It's not really a dance track now.
Yeah, it's more kind of back to the roots, back to the classic DMA'S sound. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Fully agree with that. And right, this is one everyone's been asking about. Like we've asked on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and everyone's just asking about it. And I don't want to disappoint people, but it's probably one of the weaker tracks on the album. It's very just, you can definitely see like the trance influences, like the old dance music, and I don't know who wants to take this one.
I
who wants to? Danny, you didn't like this. You don't like this.
And I love, you know me. I love letting people down as well. So
you do.
So like Cobra King. It was played up so much to be this absolute banger of a tune, revolutionary. Oh, I hated every second of it.
I don't think it was that bad.
I hated it. I thought it was an awful way to end the album. Such a great album. The auto tune, it doesn't work with Tommy's voice. It just doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work with his voice. He shouldn't beat it. He's too good of a vocalist to be having that. It was just the weakest track on the album. It doesn't ruin the album though, I have to say. It's not like I'm not going to buy this album because of Cobra Kane. I just thought they played it up so much. They did everything in their power to make this sound as if it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread, and it just fell so flat, on my opinion. And keyword there is my opinion, so please don't dox me.
Fuck your opinion, fuck it. Yeah, I think like we've seen like in the press releases and the promo stuff and all, it was always described as like, I think it said like a melting pot of like all these different genres, and bigging it up as in like it's everything good about DMA'S encapsulated in one song. Like, I disagree. Like, I think that's more a Hello Girlfriend, to be fair. That has been a bit of everything.
There were better songs on that album to encapsulate DMA'S. And just,
definitely.
Not it. It just wasn't.
Like, I'm not like Danny. I didn't hate the song, but I didn't love it either. It was good. It's probably a 6 or 7 out of 10 at least. It's very just, like I said, trancey kind of music. Fairly. Jordan, you were on about this, like you were saying, like when you had it on your speakers, the drop came and you were just like,
my whole bedroom was vibrating. Yeah, no, the song itself, like it's a pure electronic and dance track. People who aren't fans of DMA'S but are fans of electronic music will love this track. It's I don't know, it's going to have fans really divided, I think. Some people are going to love it and some people will hate it and some people will just not be a fan of it. But I didn't mind it now. I thought it was all right, but it's not what everyone's being hyped up for, because I've been looking at groups and pages and speaking to people. Everyone was real hyped up for it. I don't see where the hype is after listening to it. Hello Girlfriend is the song. It's the best song.
Yeah.
And that's the song people should be hyped for.
Yeah, I think people are expecting this absolute rock and roll banger, like something like a Play It Out or Lay Down, but nah.
It's like a Eurovision song or something at times. I feel like it's like a Eurovision dance song. That's what it sounds like, and I don't see why people are so hyped for it. Just, was it the name or what was it? Because like, what was going on? Like, realistically, like there's just hints of Eurovision dance music in it and stuff. But like, I'm not hating on it or anything. I feel like it's a good song, but it's not DMA'S.
It's
different, yeah.
Right, we're back anyway. Jack is back. What do you make of Cobra Kane, Jack?
Yeah, I was more inclined to agree with Danny. Like, it is far too dance and too electro for me. Like, I wouldn't like it at all. For me, it should have been kind of buried somewhere in the album, if even on the album at all.
Strong words. Didn't even want it on the album. Everyone's so excited about this. I honestly think everyone's going to be disappointed, or a lot of people will be disappointed.
Yeah,
people
I think so.
People are a bit more dance heavy. Probably enjoy it, but
yeah, it's really just old school kind of trance.
We're only wee little Britpop shits, like, so.
That's it.
I feel like it'll be 50-50. Like half the fan base are gonna hate it and half will like it.
Yeah, just don't expect a real heavy rock and roll tune. That's not what this is.
It's not rock and roll at all.
Yeah, because we kind of touched on it earlier. I think it's not really a great ending song. I would have said Silver for like kind of melodic song, or else Round and Around, kind of like similar to like Play It Out. How that ended Hill's End is kind of a good banger at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we all kind of agree on that. So yeah. What's left then is just the best and worst songs. I can go for my best. I'd be stuck between Hello Girlfriend and Round and Around. I reckon both very, very, very good songs. They'd probably be in my top 5 or 10 DMA songs overall. And the weakest, probably Criminals or Learning Alive. I'd imagine. I think one of those two, probably the weaker songs on the album. What do you think, Jack?
I think Round and Around is the best on the album. That's definitely my favorite. It's the most rock and roll, and I love rock and roll, so it's always going to be a favorite for me. My least favorite is Cobra Kane by far. It's just I don't think it should be on the album. it shouldn't be on the album.
Right, Jordan.
Jeez, all these people are hyped up for Gallagher again. Jesus, they're not going to be happy. Jesus Christ, NYUP Music, first podcast.
First controversy.
Gallagher's just been... honestly, for my favourite song, Hello Girlfriend by a landslide for me, it was just... really good, heavy track. Everyone that loves their previous tracks, like Lay Down and stuff like that, they're going to love Hello Girlfriend. It's my favourite by far. And weakest track, I think, Learning Alive. But it's not a bad song, but it's just preference, really. It's just a personal thing. Like a lot of people love Learning Alive. I'm just not really into that kind of slower music. But Cobra Kane, then, it's not my least favourite song, but it's going to have people
It's towards the
divided.
lower end of the album, yeah. It's not exactly one of it.
It's going to have people divided, but like I don't hate it or anything, but Danny here might have a different opinion.
Yeah, Danny definitely saying Cobra Kane last. What do you think?
Y'all know I'm all about that controversy. So, well, I think my favorite track might surprise a lot of people. I think my favorite's The Glow. I love the title.
I do love that song, to be fair. So I think like
it's my favorite song.
I think I kind of forgot about The Glow, to be honest. Like I kind of skipped over the singles, but yeah, that'll be up there.
No, it's the most upbeat song. It's probably the most DMA'S song. That's the word. I don't know. It is now, but I think it's very strong, and I think it is fairly overlooked too. So I'm all about that overlooked music. My least favorite song, Cobra Kane.
Other than Cobra Kane.
I don't know, because it's the only one I outwardly hated. I hated the song. I just didn't like it at all. And the rest of them I could find the good in too. But that one was just there was just nothing there. There was nothing redeeming for me there. So I'm going to have to say Cobra Kane. Actually, my least favorite song is probably Hello Girlfriend.
Fuck off. Get out.
No, I don't.
No, get out. Right. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much wraps it up, really. There was no really other questions. I think someone asked the general mood. I would say it's fairly upbeat. It's very, like, as a whole, the album is very bassy. And like I said earlier, like, very well produced, very just big sounding songs. That's pretty much it. Any other comments to be made?
Also, how do we compare this album to Hills End?
Actually, yeah, it's well done for that. Actually, I forgot about that. Pulling me up. I personally would say I'd like to listen to it for about another month before I decide, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely not like it's definitely, they haven't dropped their standards by any sense. I'd probably have Hills End first, then this, and then For Now. Personally, what do you think, Jack?
I don't know. Like I said it before, like I wouldn't be as big a DMA'S fan. I from listening to the other two albums, I think this is probably my least favorite. I think I'd rather the other two, definitely more so. I think Hills End is definitely the strongest though, so far.
Yeah, well, you're into that kind of heavier rock and roll. Like I could see why.
Yeah.
And Danny, what do you think?
I definitely rank Hills End higher than it, but I'm not too sure after that if it's For Now and then.
Very different albums.
Yeah, they're all very different. I don't think they're. I know the only way you can compare them is that they're all by the same band, but music wise, it's
Captain Obvious over here.
I know, yeah. But I don't know. It would definitely it maybe joint second, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely, they haven't dropped their standard anyway. People
definitely not. It's not a dip. It's not a dip in quality by any means. So as they're staying on the right track, I think they're going to be onto something very quickly.
Jordan?
Yeah, Hills End, really, it's definitely the number one still, I think. But it's kind of hard to judge after only listening to it for a couple of weeks, really, because like Hills End, For Now, are completely different kind of sounding albums, really. It's the Glow is very unique, and I think some people that are going to listen to it, they might not like it that much at first listen, but I think the album's going to grow on people a lot, and the quality of it is outstanding. Like the whole album overall is very good. I don't feel like there's bad tracks around, and I think the whole thing overall is good. So honestly, it's after a month or so, like it'll be easier to rank it among the three of them, but it's not a dip in quality around, and it's still very good, and it's overall just a great album.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. What would you give it out of 10 then? I'd say probably about an 8.5. Very good album. Danny, what do you think?
Around the same, 8.5, 9 out of 10. As I said again, it's just that last track. It's just that last track. And I'm going to keep saying it until I get death threats. So But
They're
no,
getting
by any,
spot in DMA, you know.
yeah, I know, yeah. Bring
I
it
look
on,
forward to that.
I'm a bit lower. I'd probably say 7 or 8 out of 10. It just didn't click as much with me. I just wasn't a big fan of the album.
Jordan?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Like, it's just all around, all the different types of music on it. Everything kind of clicks with me. So I'd enjoy all the different types of stuff, the dance and the rock. So I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's all good reviews around, and it's a very good overall track, good, very diverse. As we said, it's out the 10th of July. We're lucky we got to hear it before everyone else. Just quick humble brag about that there.
don't forget it.
We'll leave a link in the description where you can buy it. I'd imagine you know where to buy it anyway, or listen to it on Spotify. Thanks for listening. First ever NYUPcast. I think it went all right. Subscribe, follow, whatever. I don't know where it's going to be, but
it'll all be down in the description below.
Check, basically, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's go where Danny's
there. Jack Rowan has frozen again, so I created this little sign for him.
Technical issues.
Stand by. Right. I should have said stand by me on it.
You missed the trick there. Missed the trick. All right, we'll end there, and thanks for watching, and good night.
Yup.
Yup.